Utah has some really popular vacation hotspots, but my next guest is encouraging us to break away from the crowds this spring break and instead take a road trip your family will never forget. Bob Grove with Road Trippin' with Bob is sharing 3 of his all-time favorite road trips he says everyone should take at least once in a lifetime. That's quite the endorsement. Once in a lifetime, you got to take these trips?
You got to. You know, there's so many people who live up here in the Wasatch Front that haven't seen some of our iconic places that we have in the state. And I mean, I'm a tour guide also, and I run into people from all over the world that come and see these places. There's no excuse why we shouldn't.
Well, I mean, you think of kind of the standout landmarks like Moab or St. George, the Canyonlands. You say these are equally breathtaking and destination oriented, but not kind of off the beaten trail a little bit.
A little bit. You know, I like to talk about getting off the grid in a way and trying out some new places. So today I want to talk about 2 in-state places and 1 out-of-state on these road trips. And the first one we want to talk about is Highway 12. It's an all-American road. Highway 12 starts on the junction of Highway 89 and 12 down below Panguitch, about 7 miles below Panguitch.
Okay.
South of there, and then you start heading east.
Okay.
You can go either direction. It's about 120 miles in length.
Oh wow, so you just drive. You
know, and this is one of the top 10 most scenic byways on all-American road. There are only 31 of them in the U.S.
What's defined as an all-American road?
Well, it's got to meet certain criteria, and all-American roads meet an added layer of criteria to make that list, and so that the Highway 12 has. But you're seeing Bryce Canyon. First of all, you're going through Red Canyon. A lot of people think they've already arrived at Bryce Canyon when they get to Red Canyon. It's a beautiful Red Canyon. It's managed by the Dixie National Forest. And then you hit Bryce Canyon, and then you're going along on Highway 12. You go through 3 little towns, Tropic, Cannonville, and Henryville. When you get to
I've never heard of those towns.
These are all little pioneer towns. When you get to Cannonville, throw on the brakes because you want to go to Kodachrome Basin State Park and make that stop. Keep going down the road on Highway 12. You're going to come to the town of Escalante, another state park, Escalante Petrified Forest State Park. The town of Escalante is really awesome. There's an operator there, High Adventure Rentals. You can go on an ATV tour into the backcountry of Escalante. This is where the Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument is. Keep going to Boulder. You'll go over a bridge that's called the Hogback, where you're going to get slopes on both sides of the road.
Oh, wow.
Got Calf Creek on one side with a wonderful creek through there with 2 falls, Upper and Lower Calf Creek Falls. I got to talk like an auctioneer. I got to go through so much information here.
There's that much to see.
You eventually make your way over Boulder Mountain and into the town of Torrey. So that's the full length of Highway 12 from just south of Panguitch off of the 89 junction to Torrey. It's about 120 miles and some of the most concentrated scenic beauty. There's so many turnouts, and I'll have all this information on my blog that you can go to.
It seems like there's a lot to see and do in these areas along this stretch.
There really is. I mean, there's a lot of history. The Highway 12 wasn't finished until around 1985. Prior to that, from Escalante to Boulder in that stretch, there's a road called the Hell's Backbone Road. There's a bridge across there that you can go across. And they brought in the first vehicle into Boulder in pieces by mule and reassembled it there. This is one of the most remote areas of the continental U.S.
I feel like I've gotten a taste of it today. Good job, auctioneer. You did your job. So is this about a 3-day or a 3-day trip?
You can easily make it. You could spend a week or longer there. There's so much, but you can do it in 3 days.
Bob's extending our spring break now to a month. He's like, you need at least. Okay, all right. Next on your list, Bicentennial Highway 95.
This is the Bicentennial. Now, this is even more remote than Highway 12. I start this one in Hanksville. That's where Highway 20, it's Highway 24 and 95 are at the junction in Hanksville.
Okay.
95 is the Bicentennial Highway. So once you get to Hanksville, you're going to start heading south.
Where's Hanksville exactly? Sorry, give us a point of reference.
Okay, Hanksville is kind of central to Capitol Reef National Park.
Okay.
It's kind of between Capitol Reef and Canyonlands.
Okay.
Up north is Goblin Valley, so if you're coming out of the north, you may want to stop in Goblin Valley on Highway 24. It's a great family park.
Okay.
Also in Hanksville, great places. One place I recommend to eat if you're hungry, stop at Stan's Burger Shack and get a Duke Burger.
A what?
A Duke Burger. It's 3 patties with a big onion ring on top. My wife and I had to split it.
A Duke Burger. Okay, find someone to chow down with.
There's also a really cool little convenience store called Hollow Mountain. It's actually carved into the rock there, so it's a cave inside the rock. I always stop my tour vans there and let people have that experience.
These are the little hidden gems we love to hear about.
The little hidden gems. And then you got to stop at the rock shop there. It's the Rock and Riddle Rock Shop and get some coprolite.
What's that?
It's petrified dinosaur dung.
What? What? Bob, your credibility is now shot in my
coprolite.
eyes.
You got to get that. You haven't been to Hanksville unless you've been at the rock shop there. Keep heading south. You're going to come to the junction at 276 that goes down to Bullfrog Marina. This is where a lot of folks like to go to Lake Powell.
Yes.
Along the way is Ticaboo Resort. If you go to Ticaboo or Ticaboo Lodge and Adventure Center, you can camp there. It's a base camp. All the beautiful things that you can do there. Go on a UTV tour. And then keep going down 95, you'll hit Hyde Outpost. But before you get there, you're going to come to a slot canyon called Leprechaun Slot Canyon. That's great for families, and you're going to see some pictures on my blog about that. It's amazing.
Okay.
Then keep going down. You're going to eventually come to Natural Bridges National Monument.
Okay.
It's one of our dark sky destinations. I would recommend at that point going down Highway 261, which goes down the Moki Dugway. It's a road that's carved into Cedar Mesa along this tall mesa. You can make your way down there into the Valley of the Gods. You'll get to Gooseneck State Park, one of our best state parks. I love it.
Awesome.
And then you want to turn on to Highway 191 and start going north again and come to the town of Bluff.
Too bad you don't know your stuff, Bob Grove. Too bad.
Bluff is an awesome base camp also for all the backcountry stuff you can do there. You'll see Navajo twins and a lot of really cool stuff.
I love it. Don't kill me. We have a minute.
Okay.
So give us your quick spiel on Death Valley, and then we'll send people to your blog for all the details. But Death Valley, why did that make your list?
Death Valley because it's one of the parks that we don't often think of as for a road trip, but this is a great time of year to go there. The wildflowers aren't as good as they normally are this time of year, but if you go towards the end of April and beyond, between 3,000 and 5,000 feet, you're going to see some wonderful wildflowers. But if you, Death Valley, if you don't want the heat, you got to go now or in the fall. But Death Valley is beautiful in its own way. I mean, we have Red Rock Canyons and all the beauties of Utah. This is a very different beauty, a very stark, contrasting to what we normally see in our Red Rock Canyons.
Might expand your appreciation for all of God's beautiful things.
Valley.
Oh, we're lucky to live in this state, and I've lived in it my whole life. And now after this conversation, I'm wondering what I've missed. So I have clearly a lot to see that I haven't already. Details on your website, complete itineraries there. How can we connect?
Yeah, I have all the maps, everything you need there. It's roadtrippingwithbob.com. Also, I'm going to be giving away a trip down to, I mentioned Ticaboo Lodge. We're going to give away 2 nights there with a UTV rental and an annual state park pass that you can use throughout the year to all the state parks.
So that contest going on your blog right now.
That's right.
Awesome. I love your passion, and I love that you've researched these for us in such detail. So thank you, Bob. Thank you so much.